Well, hello traders and investors. I'm L.A. Little and this is your daily NeoTA wrap. Take a look at these markets, doing it from a neoclassical perspective. Each time asking ourselves what happened today and what does it tell us about the coming ones. We show 4 times a week every Monday through Thursday. It's broadcast at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, sarcased on YouTube, and it's under the channel L.A. Little. If you haven't subscribed to this program, you want to just reach up in the right-hand corner and do so. Anytime I push public content, you get a notification. As far as what happened today, let's take a look real quick here at the numbers. So what do we got here? We got an up day, nothing big, slightly higher, almost flat on the on the NDX and the Nasdaq, and so up 0.25%, up 0.5% on the Russell. You had oil up big today. Inventory numbers lower. Oil is actually breaking out on a weekly. If it holds where it is today, it will break out over the last weekly, and that probably is going to portend more gains to come. Gold and silver gets another bump up. Overseas flat pretty much across the board. And one of the things that our world has changed so much because of the internet. I mean, being an older school fellow, having come through all of this, over the last 25, 30 years, used to you go to the library. Now you just pop up the computer and do whatever you're going to do. You used to not have all these charts, at your fingertips. You used to not have these kinds of tools. There was no way, 20 years ago, I could create the kind of things that you see here with TA Today. A single person, a single idea can bring you this much information and build a model and do all the kinds of things that we've done because of computers and the internet. Tonight is another example of that, in that I don't really need to sit here and talk forever. I'm not doing a 30-minute show or an hour show. I talk as long as it makes sense to talk, and really there's not that much to talk about tonight. And so rather than talk a lot, I'm just going to show you a couple charts. I'm going to show you a couple things, and I'm going to probably call it a night because there's not much else to say. We got a presidential debate tonight. I don't think that's going to change much. There's a lot of talk about presidential debates, presidential elections. The market's already discounting it, and unless there's a huge surprise, the market's pretty much already discounted a Clinton win. And unless we get some big something that changes that, I don't think that does much. Earnings are the other big news. And the last one is the ECB tomorrow. Now, the expectation is the ECB is not going to do anything, that they're probably going to promise more maybe in December. Of course, the ECB can't do much if the Fed's going to raise rates, because if the ECB does, that's going to be a problem for their currency. Well, it could get out of hand, I should say. So I think that, when you look at everything that's happening, it's harder and harder for any of these central banks to do a lot more than they've already done, because what they've done is paint themselves in some serious corners. And to extract themselves from that is going to be more and more difficult, and to get more bang for the buck is going to be more difficult as well. Let's talk about the charts, though, and not worry so much about that. Here's the bar we've been watching. What do we do today? We come back over it again today, just like we did back here. What do? We fail one more time. Volume is not there, right? That's another failure. This thing, again, wants to come lower, folks. There's an ABCD structure to try to take it lower. All it needs is a little respect, right? Just needs to see something, whether it's some earnings, maybe it's that presidential debate tonight. Who knows what it is? Something's going to upset the apple cart. My most likely case is going to be the ECB in the morning is going to do something that wants to try to push this back lower. And it wants to do it not just on the S&P, but it wants to do it everywhere. Let's go to the Russell. Last night I was talking about the Russell. If you look here on the Russell, what did the Russell do? Well, take that same bar, that's what we talked about last night, draw a line across it. And what is it doing? It's coming right to it. What does it do? It doesn't have the volume. Backs off by the close. Oh, that's not enough. Let's take another one. How about the Nasdaq, the composite itself? What does this one do? Well, just go find the lines, folks. Here's the big bar. Where's the top of that guy? Right there. Draw it across. What does it do? Yesterday comes over it, closes back under it with a dark candle. What does it do today? Test back into it, closes under it again. The volume's lighter, wants to come back down. Now you can start drawing in ABCD structures on these other ones as well. What does that do? Tries to take it to the lows, right? And I don't know if these are going to fulfill. All I know is the structures are there. If we start seeing price push down, take the NASDAQ as just an example. If we start to see the price push down to this side, if we get under this level, right, then you're going to try to fulfill that ABCD structure to the downside. And that's a fairly decent size one. I mean, you can do the numbers off your head, 53.40, take the bottom, about 180 points, 170 points off of this one. That's about 5,100. That's about right there, 59.70. Takes it to the bottom. If we get that kind of push, I don't know that it's going to do it. I can see the structures. I know what to worry about, and I know what to watch for to see if it's going to do it, right? To see if the odds are increasing. And that's what you do in neoclassical, right? You let the market give you tests. You let those tests take place. You interpret what they mean. Of course, you have to figure out what's significant. And that's what I do here for you, is what I do for the members. I go in here and I find what's significant, and I tell you. If it can't get over something that's significant, tries and tries, what is it going to do? Well, it's going to try the other side. It's going to try to break the other side. That's how markets work. In this particular case, the first thing significant on the way down is the bottom of that same bar, because it happens to line up with these bars, right? That little zone there is going to be hard to get through and stay under. And you've already seen that once. It's already told you that once, right? It got under it here, got under it there. Couldn't stay under it, pops back over it, but it's building out the case to try to go lower. So when you look at the market from that perspective, right, that's what it's trying to tell you. If we look at Europe, Europe's pushing higher, has been pushing higher. It's right at a point where it wants to try and trade back down, just on a pure price basis, not on any signal. If we look at the euro is at the bottom of the range. Are we going to see the euro shoot up and push the European markets down tomorrow off of Draghi? I think that's probably the best case scenario. Not best case, but the most likely case. And let me pull up the FXE here and show it to you. That looks like about the most likely case. This is down here, tested under this bar today. It closes at that bar, right? So this could continue down. If we pull the weekly over, the weekly is tested under the swing point low. Suspect, that's what the red arrow is. So far this week, it's under back over. If we start to get a little push tomorrow based off this daily, then that's going to be pressure on the equities in the European theater. So that's the way that one shapes up. And I think that's probably the most important things that are out here today. I still expect this market weakness short term, positives long term. That's the way the charts still look. Nothing's changed. Have yourself a great night, a great tomorrow. Take care. See you next time.